So I have a quote from Max Weber. Those of you that have taken sociology, you probably looked at Max Weber a little bit because bureaucracy is not just a government concept. It's very much about how we organize society. And so Max Weber is one of those people that really, that's what he wrote about primarily, and that's what he studied. So the definition, or there's a quote from him. From a purely technical point of view, a bureaucracy is capable of attaining the highest degree of efficiency. It is, in a sense, formally the most rational known means of exercising authority over human beings. How does that gel with what you guys already know about bureaucracy? Or what do you even know?
Honestly, nothing.
When I say that word bureaucracy, what do you think? Do you have any?
Like the FBI.
The FBI? Okay, that's perfect because that's what it is. Okay. What else do you think of? Can't spell? It is a hard word to spell. I have to tell you, it's taken me years to master it for sure. So I tell you what, we're gonna watch a little video clip that some of you might recognize. No, we're gonna have to do it like this. A little video clip that some of you guys might recognize, and see if we can relate to what we think about bureaucracy.
Putting the clock in every minute. That's on Netflix now.
No way.
They're all slosh.
It's my favorite series.
You said this was going to be quick.
Well, are you saying that because he's a sloth he can't be fast? I thought in Zootopia anyone can be anything. Flash, Flash, 100-yard dash. Buddy, it's nice to see you.
Nice to see you, too.
Hey, Flash, I'd love you to meet my friend. Darling, I've forgotten your name.
Officer Judy House, APD, how are you?
I am doing just
Fine.
as well as I can be. What
Hang in there.
can I do
Well, I was hoping you could run a play.
for you
Well, I was hoping you could.
today?
Well, I was hoping you could run a play for us. We are in a really big hurry.
Sure. What's the plate
29 T.
number?
29 THD03.
Two, 9,
THD03.
T,
HD03.
H,
D03.
D,
03.
0.
3.
Hey, Flash, want to hear a joke?
No!
Sure.
What do you call a three-humped camel?
I don't know. What do you call a
Camel.
three-humped camel?
Pregnant.
Yes, very funny, very funny. Can we please focus on the text?
Hey,
Wait.
Priscilla.
Oh, no!
Yes? Flash?
What do
No!
you call
A three-humped camel! Pregnant! Okay, great, we got it! Please.
humped? Here,
Yes.
you
29 THC03.
go.
It's registered to Tendertown Limo Service. A limo took Otterton and the limo's in Tendertown. It's in Tendertown!
Way to hustle, bud. I love you. I owe you.
Hurry! We've got to keep the rush hour in. It's nice
Okay. So we're studying bureaucracy. Why did I show you that?
DMV has to do with bureaucracy.
The DMV has okay. So if you think about the Department of Motor Vehicles, Madison, what is the job of the DMV? Like, what are they supposed to be doing?
Like, I don't know, they give you your license.
Why do you go there to get a license? Why do you need a license?
To drive.
Why?
Isn't it a state thing?
It's law. It's law. Right. Okay. So the government made the law. So then they create the DMV to enforce the law. Bureaucracy is that. It's all the parts of the government that then enforce the law. Think about all of these things that presidential candidates or gubernatorial candidates or mayor, people they say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to create this, we're going to create that. Well, they can't hop in their cars and drive all over the city, state, or country enforcing the law. So that's what bureaucracy is. It is the unelected people that are charged with enforcing the law. So this right here, this is the criteria for a bureaucracy. You guys probably, I don't know, you just kind of skim the surface, but in world history, do you remember talking about that all in relationship to China and the civil service exam? And thanks, Jack, I appreciate it. Yeah, you really do, or are you just saying that? Yeah, you kind of, okay. So anyway, bureaucracy is just, the first part is this. It's saying that you have a modern society and you have to have some kind of rational way to conduct and organize your business. So if you think about the fact that we have a Department of Motor Vehicles, if we didn't have them, if we had one centralized location that was in charge of enforcing every state law, can you imagine what chaos that would be? Or let's say that we just have one in each county. So all of the state laws, you have to go to these different county offices. Well, again, it would become very difficult. So what we do is we have people specialize. They focus on one aspect or one component of policy, and that's their job. And that's what they learn about. That's what they focus on. Even if you take like a large bureaucracy, a bureaucratic agency like the FBI is in charge of a lot of things, but every person that works for the FBI doesn't do everything. They do their little component of it. Schools are fantastic examples of bureaucracy. For the most part, there are some things that don't quite fit there. But when we say hierarchical, that word doesn't come out of my mouth well. You know what I mean, right? There's a hierarchy. So there's an authority structure. What does that mean, Brian?
It means that like there are people who are in charge, and then they delegate tasks to other people who delegate tasks to other people, and so on until you get to the bottom.
Awesome. When you are at a store or you're on the phone trying to get customer service, something, and the person that you talk to can't help you, what is it always our intuition to say? What do we ask for?
Manager.
Yes, for a manager. You want the person that's above them. Why do we ask for a manager, Gracie?
Because they have more power.
Good. That is what that means. It means that the person above has more discretion than the person at the bottom. The people that are at the very bottom level of a bureaucracy, we call them street level bureaucrats because they're the people that we would interact with. So if you go to the post office, because that's part of the bureaucracy, and you walk in there and you're having some kind of problem with your mail, the person at the counter is not terribly empowered. There are specific tasks that they have that they perform. Doesn't mean that they're stupid, doesn't mean that they're unqualified, it means that's their job. And when they can't handle your very specific, weird, random kind of request, we get mad, but the reality is a lot of times street level bureaucrats are not empowered to do so. Okay? And so we ask for the person above and the person above, and theoretically the people at the top have more discretion and more ability to make decisions than the people at the bottom. Okay? This right here, merit principle, not who you know. Sana, what does that mean to you when we say merit principle, not who you know?
I guess this would be people who you wouldn't know.
But if you get a job based on merit, what does that mean to you?
Maybe like a test.
Good. It's like a test. Yeah, absolutely. If you want to go work in the bureaucracy, there's actually a test you take. It's called the civil service exam. And your performance on that test will rank what kind of job you're qualified for. So higher level jobs obviously come with more pay, more security, more responsibility. Lower level jobs are going to put you down here. And then when we say merit principle, that means that you're supposed to get your job and get your promotions based on your qualifications and your hard work. This is a contrast to how the bureaucracy began. Based on the lack of notes that I saw on people's papers, I'm guessing a lot of you didn't do the reading, but if you did do the reading, you read about how it used to be. Do you remember learning about the spoils system? And I think it was Andrew Garfield, the president, that was shot. Like, is this kind of yes, no? So remember that that's how jobs used to be based on patronage and who you know and who you were donating money to. So the idea of the bureaucracy is supposed to have become very impartial. I'm going to say that this is not 100% true because that's not 100% true in life. When I got my job here at Centennial High School, I taught in Plano. I lived in Frisco and I wanted to work in Frisco really bad, but there were 2 high schools. And while we were growing, it's not like there's just tons and tons and tons of jobs, but the woman that was the department head here, I done my student teaching with her. So that helped me, right? Like that helped me to have a connection to somebody. Doesn't mean that I got the job because of her, but who you know matters in the sense of connectedness. Who you know should not matter in terms of actually getting the job or getting promoted or keeping the job. Impartiality or impersonality. If I am impartial, Ryan, what does that mean?
You don't care?
No, not quite. Kind of in the right, you're headed in the right way. Anybody have any ideas? Whitney, what does impartial mean?
To be honest, I'm not quite sure.
Anybody?
Does it mean like to like not entirely do something? Like you're just kind of halfway doing it?
No, we're headed in the right. I'm glad we talked about this. Okay, Zach.
You don't have a bias. You're in between. You're moderate.
Good. So if I'm impartial, that means as a bureaucrat, I am simply administering policy. I'm simply doing that. I'm not going to treat you differently because X, because I know you, because I like you, because of what state you're from, because of whatever. So that's why we get so frustrated with bureaucracy, because we show up, we have a problem, and that person isn't supposed to treat us any differently. They're simply supposed to say, this is the policy, this is what I do. So that everybody's treated the same under the law, and so that the law is not, that there are not ways for people to get advantages. Now again, that's not 100% true, but that's how it's supposed to work. Okay? So people obviously don't like bureaucracy a lot, as evidenced by what we saw in the video. What was the video demonstrating about bureaucracy? Jacob, what was the video showing us about bureaucracy from Zootopia? Either one, whoever wants to answer.
Like how at the DMV they do their own jobs and provide what we ask them to do, but they're limited to what they're able to do.
They are very limited. And what was the rate at which they were moving?
Slowly.
I mean, did you get that? And that's what people hate about bureaucracy. So other Jacob then, why do you think that bureaucrats are stereotyped that way? Like, why do you think it's okay for them to move slowly and move at their own pace?
Because, like, they don't have the authority to go faster than what they're supposed to, I guess.
Okay, so they don't have a lot of authority. That's definitely true. I'm trying to think of who in here has a job. You do. Where do you work, Rachel?
Chick-fil-A.
Okay, so if you go to work and you're kind of in a bad mood and you move really slow and you just kind of like go through the motions, is there a consequence to you?
Well, at Chick-fil-A, it'll be like, hey, put a smile on your face.
Right, there's a consequence
Yeah.
to you right at your job. What do you want to say, Brian? Go ahead.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this. Like, the thing, like, bureaucrats at the end of the day, like, they get their paycheck regardless. So it's like, it doesn't matter if somebody wants, like, a personalized, like, experience of the DMV. It's like, as long as you show up and you just follow the procedures, they're good. Like, they're not gonna change anything.
Is their job secure?
Yes. I will say, of all the negative stereotypes about bureaucracy, I could poke holes in a lot of them, but the one that does hold very true is it is incredibly difficult to fire somebody who works specifically